Sakaja issues directives following heavy downpour, including mobilizing water bowsers and providing marijuana disguised as dried fish in Mombasa, emphasizing cooperation to combat drug trafficking. Funeral mass held for journalist Rita Tinina, who died of pneumonia. Colleagues and family pay their tribute. My name is Consolata Chibalonza. Welcome. Our Nairobi Governor Johnson Sakaja has issued 5 directives after the night heavy downpour witnessed in Nairobi on Sunday night, which destroyed property, killed others, and left residents homeless. Now, in a statement issued on Monday, March 25th, Sakaja directed the Nairobi Water Sewage Company to mobilize its water bowsers to be deployed in affected areas and also provide residents with clean water. He also ordered the public health officers and community health providers to intensify on-the-ground support through the distribution of water treatment tablets and offering psychosocial support to those affected. The governor assured Nairobi residents that the county government was monitoring the situation and taking necessary measures to avoid the loss of life and property. Meanwhile, the Kenya Meteorological Department advised Nairobi residents that several parts of the city might experience a similar downpour tonight and asked locals to prepare themselves adequately.
Na tumekuwa na shida sana wakati mvua inaponyesha, tunakuwa na shida. Unakuta kama hapa vile sasa imefurika namna hii, watu kuna wakati mgumu. Watoto waweza kwenda kwenye msalani na pia wazienda wakacheza. Na hii imetokana kwa sababu ya poor drainage pattern enyelewekwa na wale ambao watuzingira kutoka katika tuseme hiyo area ya Lang'ata Center, hiyo estate. Sasa zile sewage zinapolipuka yote inakuja ndani ya shule, ndio maana paka imekuwa sasa hapa watoto wetu waweze katoka nje, wako ndani.
We do deco and we have a shop right behind us. Right now it's really affected and we have to be running businesses. If this keeps on happening, we won't be able to have businesses.
Kwa mabarabara huko juu, from Lang'ata High School, from Ngei, inakuja paka hapa. Hapa ni Manyata. Ikishafika hapa, haina pahali pa kuenda. Na inatakana iingia kwa shule. Shule walijenga ukuta, wakafunga. Maji nisiingia kwa shule kwa sababu ya watoto. Sasa hii maji inaleta hasara kwa kuingia kwa manyumba kwa sababu hakuna pahali pa kuenda.
Kanjo kama mimi nafanya pale juu, hawezi kuja hapo bila 5,000. Hapa hii ukuta imepomoka juu ya maji. Unaona pale hakuna maji, hata ukiangalia sasa hii sewage inatoa pale. Sewage inatoa maji pale sababu hii nini ikikuja pale mchanga inaingia ina block. Kuwaita hapa ni pesa, wanakula mingi na hatuna usaidizi.
So kulikuwa na madha fulani hapa alikuwa na mtoi mwenye hii shop. So alikuwa amekuja ile kumsaidia kufunga. Sababu hapa place pia sometimes hakukuwa na ile security power. So alikuwa na patrol akikuja kumsaidia. So the mother alikuwa na mtoi. So angeweza kufunga pale hivyo. So yeye alikuja kumsaidia. So it was just abruptly kukakuwa hivyo. So kukaporomoka vile mnaona hapa hivi. Kukakuwa hivyo. So hiyo maji ilipita pale kwa ile pavement ile calabash ya ndani ikapita na juu. Kulikuwa hapa na fridge ikapita na yeye hivyo.
Ili machozi naangusha. Jamani best yangu. Siriko ba. Jamani best yangu. Ulizo jamaa atakwambiwa askari mwenye amesimama hapa.
Sasa hizi tunajaribu kumsaidia lakini yuko chini kabisa. Hata tunangoja tractor ikuje mtoe alafu ndo tumtoe.
Indeed, we hope that the body will be retrieved as early as possible. Now, the funeral mass of the journalist Rita Tinina was held at the Holy Family Basilica in Nairobi. Rita was found dead in her home in Nairobi on March 17th, and a post-mortem examination revealed that she had died of acute pneumonia. Rita worked as a producer and journalist at various television stations, most recently serving at the NTV TV station. Speaking at the event, Rita's niece, Olive Barrows, who read the family statement filled with sorrow and shock at their loved one's death, paid tribute to the late journalist. NTV journalists, along with other media outlets, also offered their condolences to their departed colleague.
Her selflessness will remain a standard we can only strive to achieve.
As I stand here before you, I am broken. However, broken things can be mended. whereas the loss of a loved one is absolute. What is remarkable, I find, is Rita Tinina established her legacy just shy of her 46th birthday.
She was a beacon of truth and compassion. Her words, like gentle waves, touched countless lives, and her personal attributes left an indelible mark on all who knew her.
Rita withstood the polluting side of Nairobi, and she died intact. Success, fame, and money did not distort who she was at the core.
Let us emulate and exhibit the values that Rita exhibited, while also at the same time espousing the virtues that she stood for.
Her selflessness will remain.
Now, the main Kisii prison is expected to be relocated away from the county capital as part of the efforts to facilitate the expansion of the city. This was disclosed by the Interior Minister, Professor Kithure Kindiki, who was on a visit to Kisii. Kindiki stated that plans are underway to identify alternative land within the area to facilitate the relocation, which will be done in collaboration between the national government through his ministry and the county government. He also visited Migori County, where he commended the County Security Committee for their efforts leading to the seizure of 3,000 bags of marijuana and intensification of operations against illicit alcohol.
Main prison. As you're aware, the government has decided to relocate the Kisii prison from here to another site so that to give room for the expansion of our town. And therefore, lawlessness, breach of peace, or disruption of public meetings, and those leaders who are using our young men and women to cause chaos and violence in meetings, we said that we are going to arrest all of them. I am happy to report that we've progressed very well with the investigations, and we expect to be making arrests in the coming days of all those who have been organizing, financing, and orchestrating violence here, so that it can serve as a deterrent and nobody repeats that kind of behavior again. I said that time, and I repeat now, nobody, and I repeat, nobody is above the law. Number two, as security managers, we are not interested with the political persuasion of the offenders. If you break the law, it doesn't matter your political persuasion, we will arrest you. It doesn't matter your status in society, we will arrest you, we will prosecute you, and we'll make sure that you are punished in accordance with the laws of our country. The culture of intolerance, violence, and goonism is a matter that is worrying us as security people, not just here in Kisii, in other parts of the country as well. And we are convinced beyond doubt that unless we nip this problem in the bud, we nip this problem now, unless we destroy the infrastructure of violence that is developing, which is politically instigated, these criminals will organize themselves and mutate into other crimes.
Now, as the fight against drugs and illicit alcohol intensifies in Mombasa County and various parts of the country as well, security agencies are stepping up efforts to curb the menace. Speaking to the media at the Makupa police station, where police intercepted marijuana being transported disguised as dried fish in a refrigerated truck, the Deputy County Commissioner of Mvita, Ronald Muiwawi, credited the success to public cooperation and collaboration with security agencies. Muiwawi added that transport companies must operate diligently to ensure through thorough inspection of the goods they transport to prevent the facilitation of drug trafficking and other illicit activities. Meanwhile, the County Police Commander of Mvita, Maxwell Agoro, highlighted the effectiveness of various organizations' strategies in the threat of drugs and illicit alcohol in the area.
Kuna mwananchi aliweza kutoa habari kwa polisi kwamba kuna mzigo ambao wanaushuku na mmoja tayari ushasafirishwa kuelekea mahali ulikuwa umelengwa, na askari wakaweza kushikana pamoja na hawa wananchi na wakafuata mwenye alikuwa amebeba mzigo huu ili kuusafirisha mahali unatakana kwenda, na wakaweza kuwafikia, na baada ya kuwafikia katika mahali walikuwa wameelekea, walipowakamata wale ndio wakaweza kuwaelezea mahali mzigo ilikuwa imeshukishiwa. So wakarudi ndio wakaweza kupata vile tunavyoona tuko na bells 35 na kila bell inabeba misokoto 100. Kwa hivyo kwa ujumla hii misokoto vile tunavyoona na ni misokoto kubwa yote kwa ujumla ni 3500. Na tunaona kwamba mahali imetoka ili kusafirishwa kuletwa Mombasa imetoka katika kaunti ya Siaya. Imeletwa kutoka kaunti ya Siaya imefikishwa hapa Mombasa, na vile sote tunaona ni kwamba hii yote ilikuwa inalenga vijana wetu hapa Mombasa. Na vile sote tunavyofahamu tumezungumzia swala hili sana la mihadarati hapa Mombasa, hasa vijana wetu wa shule wanatumia bangi kama sigara, na wengi wamepotelea kwa mihadarati mpaka wameshindwa na masomo, ambapo ni swala la kusikitisha. Lakini
inafanywa kila siku kila wakati, na zile vifurushi ambayo tumezinasa zote tumeziweka, watu wamefikishwa kotini na hatujalala, tunaendelea na hiyo kazi vilivyo. Records ziko na kila mahali tumeshika doria.
Now, tension grips Siambu village in the remote region of Samburu County after armed bandits attacked the village, killing 3 people yesterday. The attackers, believed to be from the neighboring Baringo County, struck Siambu village, leaving 3 dead while 4 others are receiving treatment at Maralal Hospital. Residents have urged security agencies to intervene to ensure their safety from frequent terrorist attacks.
Hapa tuko na shida mingi, tunafikitiwa na Pokot, tuko na serikali hapa, tuko na jeshi, tuko na kila aina, lakini hatuoni usaidizi yoyote. Kwa sasa watu 3 wamekufa na 4 wameletwa wakiwa na majeraha hospitali Marala, na wengine bado wanaendelea kuletwa, lakini kazi ya serikali ni kwenda tu kuleta hiyo mwili peke yake. Hatuoni usaidizi yoyote, so tunaomba tu pia tuweze kuona usaidizi wao kwa wale wafamizi wetu ama maadui wetu wanaotufanyia tukiwa hapa Samburu.
Sisi kuna shida kwa maana mali yetu inaenda, na sisi kuna shida na serikali iko kuhusu kusaidia sisi, na kwa sisi masikini wa Kenya mali yetu inaenda na sisi tunapata chakula.
The Secretary General of the Truck Drivers Association in Kenya, Kennedy Karisa, has called on all tipper, lorry and tractor SACCOs, that is savings and credit cooperative organizations in Kenya, to collaborate in making roads safer. Speaking during the first anniversary celebration of the Migori Katuoro Tippers and Truck SACCOs in Migori County, Karisa stated that they will continue to provide training for truck owners, drivers and mechanics on road safety, careful driving and management of trucks, such as loading and unloading of goods. He noted that the association has been working closely with the Kenya National Highways Authority and the Police Department on traffic laws, regulations on the control of loading vehicles in the East African community and all laws governing commercial vehicles to improve road safety.
Tuko hapa celebrate the first anniversary of Katuoro Tippers and Truck SACCO in Migori ambayo tulianza last year, na leo pia tulikuwa na handover ya magari ambayo wamemanage kuweka into our program ambayo inaitwa D300 ambayo tunawapatia gari za kwanza ili waweze kupatia members zao waweze kufanya kazi. So this one tumefanya in partnership with our partners kama kina Isuzu na kina Tata. We do a lot of education and training for our drivers. If you were in our meeting earlier, ungenote ya kwamba we are going to have another field day where mechanics are going to be trained and drivers and on defensive driving. You do know, Sai, there's a lot of accidents and everything, so we are going to arrange for a day where the drivers are going to be sensitized on road safety and how to manage their trucks and to avoid accidents through the defensive driving course. Joined by the team from Kenya, the police, you can see they are here and everything. And in fact, whatever they are trying to talk right now is trying to teach the drivers how to load their vehicles, how Traffic Act, East Africa Vehicle Load Control Act, all those, the laws that govern the operation of commercial vehicles. That is why they are being trained on even today. And this is something that is continuous. Ni kitu ambayo tunashinda tukiifanya. Sio kitu tumefanya mara moja. Ni kitu ambayo, this is something that is continuous. We keep on doing it every year, every 6 months, every 3 months. In fact, in 1 month's time, we are going to have a defensive driving course here by all vehicle manufacturers to teach them on how to prevent road accidents when driving their vehicles.
Masako zingine ambao hazijaungana na Truck Association bado tunawahimiza ili wazidi kuingia kwa hiyo Truckers Association ili tutembea kwa pamoja. Tunajaribu kufundisha madereva wetu tena wanajua sheria. Tena kwa speed limit tunawaambia wasiendeshe gari sana kwa speed ambayo hawezi control. Sasa wanaendesha gari kwa speed ambayo inafaa.
As Tata, we've given them our mandate of working together with them by providing quality vehicles, reliable vehicles, and vehicles that provide value for money for their kind of business. So today we've unveiled to them a 1618 tipper, which is behind you, which we are retailing at Kenya shilling 6.2 million Kenya shillings.
Now, the Kilifi County government has initiated the demolition of unapproved buildings, especially in disputed land areas within the county. Meanwhile, Kilifi Governor Gideon Mung'aro warned the Directorate of Criminal Investigations Office at the Mtwapa Police Station to refrain from interfering in land matters in the county, stating that many residents are harassed by land grabbers through the DCI office. This comes after some residents of Mwendo Wapanya area in Mtwapa were summoned by the DCI office to the police station for questioning regarding land disputes.
Najua jana kulivunjwa Mtwapa na ukuta ambao umejengwa na watu ambao hawajachukua idhini ya county. Nataka niseme hapa waziwazi kwamba mtu yote, hata uwe na title deed, ukijenga mradi county bila approval ya county utavunja, hata kama ni ghorofa 10. Must be very clear to the public. Kwamba hata ukijenga mradi kama ni ghorofa ngapi? 10. And this matters here DCI. DCI has no business with land. Kama ni land fraud, watu wa kuchunguza land fraud, watuambie kitu gani imefanyika ya fraud. But hawezi kuwa DCI ndio watu wanapatia notice ya kuevict watu. Tunakubaliana? So that is my message. Lakini wacheni kuambiwa hapa, maana DCI na agent nakwambia. Hii story ya threats za hati watu wa DCI sijui na nani, I don't want to hear them. We have county laws, yeah, we have our bylaws. If you build without permit, we will break the wall. If you bring a story building, we will break it. And I warn the DCI, and I'm putting it very clear here. Wanijaribu mimi kama wanijui vizuri.
Now, the Kenya National Union of Teachers, NUT, has reiterated it will call for a national strike and paralyze education in the second term should the government not heed their calls to release the capitation fund meant to ensure the day-to-day running of schools.
It's not. We are not yet at home. We have several cases of teachers who have served for a very long time in the same grade and should be promoted to the next grade, but were never even shortlisted. They were shortlisted, but were never promoted. While we congratulate those ones who were promoted because you are our teachers and you deserve it, we are appealing to the Teacher Service Commission to make requisition of more funds from Treasury. Our teachers who are left out are very many. Promoting only 36,000 teachers is just a drop in the ocean. And just a drop in the ocean. Our teachers who deserve promotions, who have stagnated in one grade for many years, are more than 100. And therefore, let TSC not hide behind the budget.
Now, elsewhere, still on education matters, parents and students from the Wundanyi constituency have a reason to smile after receiving a check of 50 million Kenyan shillings in cash to support education within the area. The Member of Parliament for Kiharu Ndinyororo and his counterpart, Danston Mwashako, hosted the funding event through Wundanyi CDF office.
Maokofi kwa mheshimiwa wetu kwa ule uongozi anapatia NGCDF Wundanyi. Mheshimiwa, letu kama body ni kukuhakikishia ya kwamba we are behind you and we will support you. Na ile kazi ambayo leo amekuja ile kazi ambayo imetuleta hapa ni kuonyesha ile kazi ambayo amefanya mwaka mmoja na pia kujicommit kwenu kwa ile kazi ambayo atafanya hiyo miaka ambayo inakuja paka 2027.
Na ukipanga mipango, upange mipango si ya wiki moja ama mwezi, upanga mipango ya muda mrefu. Na kila siku wanasema hapa, huwa naambia watu wangu, hata kama sisi watu wazima maisha yetu hayatabadilika, wacha tuweke sera na mipango ili maisha ya watoto wetu yafanye nini? Badilike. Ndio manake nimesema hili tangu munichague mpaka leo naendelea kusema.
Na vile ameeleza na nimeona ako sawa Mwashako. Jambo la pili, amekuja maneno ya basari, kushikilia elimu ya watoto wa Wundanyi. Na pia mimi amekuwa akinieleza tangu achukue usukani, watoto wengi wanafunzi wa hii constituency they are now transitioning at a higher number na wanaenda mpaka universities, na hiyo ni baraka na maendeleo ya kesho ya constituency. Ya tatu, ametoa taarifa pia ya kwenye tunaenda. Ameeleza kwenye tumetoka, akafanya kile anafanya saa hii ya basari, na pia akatoa ya ile ya kwenye tunaenda ambayo ni strategic plan. Kwa sababu wazungu ama kimombo wanasema not planning is planning to fail. Yeye ameona kwa uongozi bora unaweka maneno taratibu ya kesho na kesho kutwa. Na kwa hivyo Mheshimiwa Mwashako, kwa hiyo strategic plan tutasikana kama madugu, na kwa sababu tunataka ufaulu kwa yote ile.
Now, the Port of Mombasa has faced the challenge of a significant increase in cargo traffic in 2023, with a total of 35.95 million tons of cargo recorded at the port within the year, according to recent statistics released by the Kenya Ports Authority. The Director General of the Kenya Ports Authority, Captain William Ruto, emphasized the need for the port to thrive to address these challenges due to the increasing markets and service delivery at the facility.
We posted 11.4% in terms of the transit market growth. So hii inaonyesha kuwa transit market wamekuwa na confidence sana na port ya Mombasa, na juzi safari yangu nilipofanya na timu yangu, nataka ni kuhakikishia kuwa tulipata makaribisho, na pia utaona sababu sitaki kusema, najua ni mzuri pia naye kuona kwa vitendo yale tumefanya. Na kama ulisikia vile nilisema pia kwa mwezi wa January, February na mwezi wa 3 performance yetu imeenda juu sababu ya transit market volumes. Juzi tumekuwa na mkutano, nafikiri umeona, nchi ya Rwanda wametutembelea hapa, wametembea port yetu hapa Mombasa, wameenda Naivasha, na wametuahidi kuwa kuendelea mbele mzigo yao nyingi itakuwa inapitia hapa, na hiyo ni kitu tumeona, na hiyo kitu tutaweza kuthibitisha pia kuwa kwa miezi 2 iliyopita mzigo nyingi za Rwanda zimekuwa zikipitia hapa, na pia DRC mzigo yao imekuwa nyingi ikipitia hapa. Ni ile kuonyesha tu vile sisi tunafanya kazi na vile tunaahidi mteja. Sisi tukikwambia container inachukua makasha inachukua siku 2 au siku 3, sisi tutatimiza hiyo.
Now, yesterday, which was the 24th of March 2024, the world celebrated World Tuberculosis Day, a day that has been celebrated for the longest time. Our very own Dr. Ngaji tells us more about this disease.
Always referred to as the silent killer, TB is the second leading infectious killer after COVID-19, above HIV and AIDS. In 2022, an estimated 10.6 million fell ill with tuberculosis worldwide, including 5.8 million men, 3.5 million women, and 1.3 million children. On 24th March 1882, a German physician and microbiologist by the name Dr. Robert Koch discovered the Mycobacterium tuberculosis that causes TB. The first World TB Day was held on March 24, 1982, on the 100th anniversary of Dr. Koch's important discovery. TB is present in all countries and age groups, with India, Indonesia, and China leading with the highest infection rates in the world at 28, 9.2, and 7.4% respectively. Africa, on the other hand, accounts for about 33% of all fatalities related to TB. In 2022, 2.5 million people fell ill with TB in the African region, accounting for a quarter of new TB cases worldwide. An estimated 424,000 people died from the disease in the African region out of the 1.267 million people who died globally in 2022. Kenya also has a high rate of infections, recording 150 to 160,000 annually, with about 18,600 people dying from it. On a recent interview with EBN TV, Dr. Beatrice Nderitu, a lung specialist at Mama Lucy Hospital, said the following.
Tuberculosis is usually a bacterial infection. It is usually infectious because it is contagious. You can spread to somebody else. And the other thing is it is an infection that is chronic. The other thing is that it affects more the lungs. That is why it is easily spread. It can affect any other parts of the body, but most of the time it affects the lungs. So it is usually spread through the droplets. When somebody coughs, when somebody sneezes, when they talk, when they laugh, you get that you can spread TB through the droplets that you release. So when you release the droplets, somebody else can pick them from the air and then get there.
There are two stages of TB, latent and active. In the latent stage, TB lives but doesn't grow outside the body. A person does not have any symptoms and can't spread from person to person. In the active stage, TB is active and grows in the body. A person exhibits symptoms and can spread from person to person. Despite the grim picture painted by the alarming infection and mortality rates, TB is curable and preventable. Many efforts have been taken and measures implemented to curb the spread of TB in recent years. Tuberculosis is an airborne disease that can be transmitted from person to person through contaminated air.
It has to be an infection from somebody who is infected. You have to get the bacteria from somebody who is infected. And when you get the bacteria in your body, if your immunity is low, the bacteria will keep multiplying. If your immunity is good, the bacteria will remain in the body and can stay there for quite a long time. And then later on, when your immunity gets low, then they start multiplying. And when they multiply, that is when you get the TB disease, and then you can be able to spread it to somebody else.
As Kenya joins the world in celebrating World TB Day, goals have been set to end the spread of TB in a few years' time. Among the measures include the government facilitating early diagnosis and advocating for standardized treatment with supervision and patient support, and political commitment with increased and sustained financing. People are advised to maintain proper distancing and stay in well-ventilated areas.
Preventive measures for us to prevent from getting the TB is that we can, when you're able to avoid an overcrowded place, it is usually very important, because the more crowded the people are, the more the chances, the higher the chances of getting the TB from a person.
Dr. Ngani reporting for EBN TV.
Welcome to the world of sports, where the Anti-Doping Agency of Kenya, the Athletics Integrity Unit, and the Kenyan government changed tides on the fight against doping. Kenya stands in category A in doping cases and risks a ban. In 2017, they escaped a looming ban after they pledged 650 meters annual for the fight against doping. Last year, the number of cases increased globally due to the increases in number of tests compared to 2022. Mark Donald with more on this.
The Athletics Integrity Unit Chief Executive Officer, Claude Brevia, visited the country to give an insight on the doping trends globally and gave statistics on the doping cases in Kenya in 2022 and last year. Increase in number of athletes tested in the world has also increased the number of individuals caught with doping cases. However, the Athletics Integrity Unit banned 38 athletes in 2022, but the number decreased to 29. The Anti-Doping Agency of Kenya and banned 34 athletes in 2022, but the number shot to 60 last year. Last year, World Athletics President Lord Sebastian Coe visited the country and noted that Kenya is in category A and risks a ban from the world governing body.
The difference between our approach to Kenya than the approach that we took with Russia. And let me make this clear. These are two very different cases. As was evidenced in the World Anti-Doping Agency report.
Rather than hide from these grim statistics, rather than bury our head in the sand like the proverbial ostrich, we have accepted the challenge. We have agreed that we have a problem. And we have moved on to prepare on how to confront that problem head on.
Doping among Kenyan athletes has been a menace, which the government, in conjunction with the Anti-Doping Agency of Kenya and the Athletics Kenya, are committed to fight. A steering committee led by Athletics Kenya President Jackson Tuwei was made, with the main aim being to strategize on the roadmap to fight the menace. 783 tests were made in 2022, while 3,185 tests were carried out last year. This explains why there has been an increase in doping cases, with the number also suggesting that most of the athletes involved in doping cases are the ones involved in major races such as world major marathons. Kenya got a huge reprieve to escape the looming ban in 2022 annual meeting in Rome, Italy, after they pledged 650 million annually to fight the menace. Reporting for EBN TV, I'm McDonald.
And with that, we have come to a close of today's EBN TV Prime Edition. My name is Consolata Chibalonza. Thank you very much for your time, and until next time, God bless.